Okay, a very good morning. Let's start the session for today. Warm welcome to Aboard Masters, Brother Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. Today, I would like to share Master Ching Yen's words of wisdom accepted by Sister Siang on do not stay absent, cultivate virtue while you can. For decades, master and disciples have walked this path together. Hand in hand, we have written the history of Suchi together. We need one another, united in heart as we walk the right path. Take the initiative to give, becoming someone whom others can rely upon. Whenever causes and conditions arise, do not habitually stay absent. Seize every opportunity to cultivate wholesome affinities and virtue. By bringing forth our goodness, our lives shine with true radiance. Do not miss the chance to cultivate virtue through your absence only to leave yourself with regrets. Nourish your wisdom life through daily reflection. Treasure the present moment and diligently advance along the Bodhisattva path. Now, let's send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sahel land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let's sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in the world. Together, We pray for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let's wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let's expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let's all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Okay. Before we hear the wonderful sharing review of our wondrous Lotus Sutra, let's invite our board masters to lead us in paying homage to Triple Gems. Let's pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Ching Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow, second bow, and third bow. And bow to our beloved board masters who could join us today. We have 2 sharers today, Brother Joe and Brother Wei Xiang. Before we proceed with this sharing, Sister Suching will give us the summary of last week's sharing. Over to Sister Suching. Cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn so much, Sir. Bye. Okay. Okay, last week we had, can y'all hear me?
Yes, Sister.
Okay, cool. Yes, last week we had Brother Joe. Brother Joe said, deep inside our hearts, the Buddha nature will stay. Brother Joe shows us how to walk the middle way. He speaks of deep views and the 10 suchness signs. Wisdom appears when our pure inner spirit truly shines. Observe with your heart and not just your 2 eyes. Truth becomes clear when the selfish old ego finally dies. You might want to stay in your warm, cozy bed. Use the Dharma to guide your weary heart instead. No one must push you to do what is right. Your own inner lamp will give off a beautiful light. Compassion should flow like a stream that will never end. To those who are hurting, a warm helping hand extend. Don't look from afar or just watch the daily news. Stand close to the pain and pick up the shoes. The power is yours when the engine starts to run. Serving with joy is how the great battle is won. And then Master Te Huang, when the hot sun warms up the old temple floor, Master Te Huang opens the white wisdom room door. On the 6th day of the 6th month, we toil to keep our precious books from the damp and the soil. Like Master Xuan Zhang, who dropped scrolls in the deep lake, we dry every page for the great teacher's own sake. Hold the old books with 2 hands very tight. Treat them like gold and keep them within your sight. An ox sniffed a book and then became very grand. A leader was born with a scroll in his hand. But do not stay out in the heat for too long. The middle way keeps our weary spirit very firm and strong. Like a sunburn can hurt a soft human skin, too much of a good thing is surely a sin. We map out the shelves so no volume goes astray. Drying the Dharma is the most wonderful part of the day. Okay, then we had Brother Sun Hok, who spoke about home. In the land of the Buddha, where everything started out, city volunteers work hard and erases every single doubt. A campus was built in just one short, quick year to bring the true Dharma and banish all dark fear. They worked in the blaze of the 42-degree heat with very sore bones and with very tired feet. Huge boxes were carried up three flights of stairs, while the dust from the building was thick in the hot air. The storm came fast to wash the very dusty roof. Of Master's spiritual presence, we saw the certain proof. Cool winds blew and made the dark sky start to glow. The tears of joy let every happy heart finally know. On the large screen, we saw our dear Master's kind face, as if she had as if she had come to this very far distant place. The boss became coolie to serve with a happy loud cheer. Returning to home makes the path of the heart clear. Okay, so from Brother Joe Huang to Brother Su Hao, we first find the Buddha within and awakening the perpetuating inner lamp. Then with Master Te Huang, we learn to cherish the Dharma and preserve the wisdom of the ages with reverence and care. And finally, Brother Sung Hao's sharing was about selfless diligence and manifesting compassion into physical action to benefit all beings. Okay, Kan-en, thank you for listening. I will stop share and hand over to Sister Wai Fong to introduce our next speakers. Over to you, Sister Wai Fong.
And then Sister Suching for another beautiful piece of summary. Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see all of you this morning. Before we begin, may I kindly remind everyone to keep your microphone muted unless you're speaking. If you have any questions, you may also type in the chat box. We will have time for questions or sharing later. It's always a joy to welcome back our dear Brother Joe Huang. For the past few sessions, the many sessions actually, Brother Joe has been guiding us through different chapters, the various chapters, and the last was chapter 2 of the Sutra of Infinite Meaning. Brother Joe, thank you for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sister Wai Fong. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and thanks to all the recap. I think this is wonderful to always be able to hear the recap of what happened last week. As today we begin the month of August, it is always amazing to see how time flies. We could just remember that it was just not long ago that I remember not long ago that we just finished celebrating the Chinese New Year. It was long for me because it was constant, right? It was constant for 2 weeks. It was constant flood of, in a good way, of all the family members coming back home to the abode. And it was constant. And so for 2 weeks, we were here welcoming and also saying hello and saying Happy New Year to everybody that was coming. And then, after that, it was very quickly the very first diligence day in March, and also the beginning of a new training class year for our patient. So that was March. And then I remember very quickly, starting from last year and going into March, we were already planning the very important day that is in May. So starting since the passing of New Year's, we were already organizing. And of course, in the final months, it gets into the very high speed drive where everything is just, go, 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 making sure all the invitations, all the venues, all the programs and all the such. And, so from New Year's all the way to May 10th, it's like a flurry of things happening. And then that day, and also the next day, it finishes and it was over. It was full of joy. It was the Buddha bathing, the Buddha's birthday celebration, all of that put together. And then since that, for us here in Taiwan, since the Buddha's birthday ceremony, we start into the preparation for Master's trip around Taiwan. That's going to happen. That was taking place in June. So you can see the dates that May 10th is our 60th anniversary, and then June 18th, shortly after a month, Master began the trip around Taiwan, and we've been gone for a month. So it's almost like you're stepping in times in terms of months, and so that's how. So we've gone through 7 months, and if every step is by month, that means you've only taken 7 steps. So obviously that's why time flies. But if we try to take it so that every step is actually many, many, many small steps, then I think it's a completely different scenery, a complete different ideas. So I think a lot of times that we hear the adage, you gotta slow down, smell the coffee, smell the roses. That's all fine, but things are just always churning, right? So your body, your physical body, is actually churning through all these things, but your heart doesn't have to. Your mind doesn't have to. Your mind could try to be as still. Your body is being pushed forward by all the things around you, but your mind doesn't have to. And a lot of times, I think this is where we are trying to learn. We are learning, trying to, um, you know, have a better feel for the controlling of the pace of how our mind experience the actual life that's around us. And so whether we're thinking about 静思, still thoughts, um, that's the way that we're trying to calm our minds. And that's the way we're trying to progress in the very paced, in the very calm, in a way where we are experiencing all the surroundings, but we're not being negatively influenced by the surroundings. So that takes practice, and that takes guidance. And a lot of times that Master Cheng Yen doesn't teach us how to breathe in, breathe out, how to take our breathing exercise, how to sit and meditate. Master Cheng Yen doesn't do that. Instead, Master Cheng Yen wants you to feel more for the surroundings. Feel more. It starts out with your heart. Feel, be mindful of all the suffering and all the pain and all the disasters that's happening. Be engaged, even though you might not be there on site, even though you might not be there firsthand, but you can stay engaged to the people, to the events that are happening around the world. Do not feel detached from it, right? So when I first talked about the mind should try to be sort of different from the body that's going through all the hurries, it sounds like we are separating the mind and the body. Whereas Master Cheng Yen teaches us that no, our mind needs to be where our body is. And that's a new connection, right? Rather than trying to calm down when all around you is in a flurry, Master Cheng is teaching us, well, be mindful of our flurry so that you know that you're in a hurry, so that we can try to slow down, not separating the mind and the body, and rather be mindful of everything. And that will naturally slow things down because your mind is trying to make sense of a lot of things. Your mind is trying to observe. You're not just looking, you are seeing and you're observing. And when you do that, you slow down, right? So when the term that slow down to taste the grapes or to taste the raisin, to remember that taste means that you're not just chewing or you're eating, you're tasting, you're experiencing the taste, right? So I think a lot of times Master doesn't teach you, the very specific techniques, because those are something that's made up so that you could be mindful, right? There are teachers, there are courses telling us to, make sure that we bite, that we chew the raisin 30 times. That's something that we learn. And it works, right? It puts your mind directly on chewing itself. But that's not what Master Ching teaches us, right? She doesn't teach us to do this. She just teach us to see the suffering and teaches us as we are learning and seeing the suffering to be paced by what we should be doing. Think and observe. There are so many things that we do not know, and the answers and the solutions are not always the same. Case in point, when there's this major earthquake happens in Japan, everybody was mobilizing, everybody was gearing up, everybody was being ready, right? So Master's telling everybody that that's what we should do, but you should slow down, because right now it's not like we can do things right away. There are limitations to where we can do, to where we can go and what we can do. So there are many things that we need to learn. It's not that we're separating the mind from the body. It's that we are putting the mind on the body so that naturally it will slow down. Because when you put your mind to something, you're not just going through the motion. You're seeing things, you're smelling things, you're feeling things, so that your minds are receptive to all these feelings and become very observant of that. That is the key. And why are you being observant? You're not doing this because you're being told to be observant. You're doing this because it helps you in reaching your goal. And what is your goal? Your goal is to help those people that are suffering. So it takes a completely different perspective. You are being mindful, not because you're practicing to be mindful. You're being mindful because another being needs it. Another individual needs you to be mindful so that they could be better served and helped in the time of their most urgent needs. That is very different. We are not sitting there meditating, teaching ourselves, our mind, to be mindful of how we chew, to be mindful of what we smell. We are learning to be mindful because to better help another person, to better help this group of people who are now needing our help. We need to be mindful of our surroundings. We need to be observant of what's needed. We need to understand what is going on. Where is all the chaos coming from? What should we do? Should we do something right now? What is the course of action that we should do? Therefore, to answer all these questions, we have to be mindful. We have to be observant. We have to do all these things that we are pushed into the role of doing. It is not something that we do at our leisure time where we are learning to be mindful. We are doing this because we need to, because we want to, because another person needs us to do this. That is, I believe, a self-perpetuating, a self-sustaining goal for us. It is not us taking time out every day for 10 minutes to do a certain practice. It is because you see the urgent needs of others. It is because you feel the pain that other feels. That is why something within you comes out. Something within you that is very naturally coming out when you see people suffering. That is the compassion. That is this loving kindness that we have. That when you see others in pain, when you see others in need, it naturally comes out from you. That drives you to be more observant because you want to know how to help others. You want to be the better help. You don't want to just throw your resources away by doing things that are inefficient. You want to do the things that are best received, that are have the best results. That's why we become observant. That's why we become very, very mindful of the things that we say, of the things that they say. We become mindful in listening. We become mindful in talking because because that's what the others need. It's more, it's less becoming, it's less important about what we feel. It's more important about what others need. And when that feeling takes over, then all these things becomes very, very natural. We want to do better. We want to be better. We want to serve better. We want to be a better person so that we could do more to help others. Because you've seen so much disaster, you've seen so much suffering, because you're not seeing from far away. Anytime that you see things from far away, you lose that you lose that subjectivity. You become very objective. You become very, standard of operation, right? So standard procedure. You start thinking about, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do that? But when you're up close and when you're in the face of this suffering, everything is different. The drive comes forth. You want to do more. And that is why Master Cheng Yen always encourage us to be on the front lines, to be there in first hand, not at the first moment of disaster, because we're not first emergency responders. But we want to be there to feel, to see, so that this compassion will automatically, by itself, flow out from you. And when that happens, your mind, your eyes, your ears become very keen. They become very responsive to all the things around you. The senses come alive. They are now seeing and feeling a lot of things. That's when you practice the mindfulness. Your eyes becomes very hungry for sights, for vision. That's when you train your eyes to see the most important things. What are the things you need to make sure you capture so that your mind remember? What are the things you need to capture with your cell phone, with your camera, so that you need to show others? You need to remember for others. What are the stories you need to remember so that you can recount it for other people? These are the things that you become very mindful for. And then you become you start to tell yourself what you can do better for others. And I think that's what the Sutra of Infinite Meaning for the first 4 chapters is really talking about. All these chapters are there to prepare us so that we know we need to be prepared to observe and put into a very grand perspective. You're not observing because Buddha told you to. You're observing because when you're in the situation where there are people suffering and you see their suffering, and you are driven by this compassion from within, you are going to be observing of what can be done, what should be done, what can I do more, and what can I do to help them more. And these are the first 4 chapters. These are the contents of the first chapters. Now let us get into the slides. Okay, so we're in chapter 2. And in chapter 2, the book breaks it down into, I think, 8 or 9 different sections. So for each section, there's actually all these different meanings. But for chapter 2, section 1, 2, and 3, and 4, okay, all talks about observing. And when you're observing, section 1, 2, 3, 4 talks about 1, 2 talks about observing. 3, 4 talks about your drive to observe. And 3 and 4, section 3 and 4 talks about observe selflessly, observe with compassion, observe because you're not being told to observe, but rather you want to observe. You want to be mindful. You need to be mindful because in order to help these people, you need to be mindful. And you want to. You don't want to do this recklessly because other people will not receive your help. Other people will not want your help if you are not mindful, right? It makes sense. You are mindful for others' needs. That's why you give them what they need. If you're just mindlessly going in and spreading the money around, it's either inefficient and people do not appreciate that. And not only that, they are not getting the best help that they need. So if you really want to help them, if the compassion is there, the drive is there for you to become more and better, then you need to be observant. That's what 3 and 4 tells you. So 1 and 2 teaches you the technique. 3 and 4 tells you the drive has to come from within. It's not something like you're going by the book. You go to this earthquake site, and what you do is you take out your book list and then you follow down all the lists. That's not what we should do. We should go through this mindfully, learn this, and practice it. Okay. So 3 and 4 tells you the self-perpetuating, the self-sustaining way of doing this is the compassion from within. It does not tell you that you can just throw the SOP away, right? No, you need this. You still need this operation procedure. You still need this. You still need your SOP. But the drive to be better should be coming from within. It's not because the SOP tells you to. It's because you want to do more. You want to do better. When the SOP tells you, ask for if they need support. Ask to see if they need a place to stay. You do not just do this. Do you need a place to stay? The compassion within will drive you to help them, to put in your softest tone and to put your shoes in their, to put your feet in their shoes, to think about what is their most necessary needs, what is their most urgent needs, how many people in their family, what's their most urgent needs, etc., etc. Are there anybody hurt? Are there anybody in the hospital, etc.? These are the things that you should remember to ask. You follow the SOP, but you're not asking because the SOP told you to. So that's something that's very difficult, but I'm sure you understand that it's something that you need to write down a list so that you can remember, but it's not something that you do because the list tells you to do. All right. So do not let this, do not reverse the cause and the effect. Okay. So you want to better help others. That's why you write down a list. But do not let this list become your intention, become the cause of that's why I'm doing this. All right. So that's what it means. It doesn't mean that you don't need a list. You still need a list so that we can best help them. But you do not drive yourself because the list tells you to. All right. So that's the first 4 sections. Now we are going to head into the next section, which is section 5. So this is a very important section because it breaks away from the first 4 sections. Imagine the first 4 sections talks about, it's basically the student asking one or 2 questions, and the teacher answers in the majority of the first 4 sections. Now, the student, upon hearing the solution, has a question, has a follow-up question. And I think this is, I believe, the masterpiece in this chapter. It's not in the answers that the Buddha said. It's in section 5 when the student counters the answer from the first 4 sections with another question. Okay, so let's follow through. Let's first see what section 5 is talking about. All right, so where we are, we had just listened to the Buddha answering the question, how to readily achieve Buddhahood, right? So we not understood, observe, communicate, see the truth, understand the truth. Understand this, it has to come from compassion, right? So what do we think of Buddha's answer, right? This is the answer. Understand the true self, the true origin, the true source of this drive that makes you want to change, makes you want to observe, makes you want to adapt. That's compassion. Okay. So you get all of that, right? That's Buddha's answer. That's fine. So all sounds wonderful, right? Right. So Buddha taught us to observe and communicate. So naturally, right? So disciples are going to do this. They're going to ask questions. So this is what they ask, right? So after the Buddha responded in the first 4 sections, right now in section 5, at the time, right, the great magnificent Bodhisattva, that is the person that's been talking, that is the leader, the representative of the Bodhisattvas that are asking, leading the group by asking the question. Now ask again. World honor one. The Dharma you teach is inconceivable. The capacities and natures of sentient beings are also inconceivable. And the liberation through the Dharma doors is also inconceivable, right? So what this means is, it is amazing. Your teaching that make us understand the teachings of what you just said and all the people's needs are something that cannot be perceived and described in words. The happiness, the joy that each individual understands and receives is also beyond words. It's not. It's something that I think the word inconceivable meaning here is not just talking about speechless. It's talking about you have to understand it by going through it yourself. It's conceivable if people explain it and you get it. Well, it's not the way it is. The way it is the Buddha or Master Cheng Yen open the path, points the direction, and walk the path. Now you have to follow the direction, walk the path yourself. You will understand. It's only conceivable that we follow this path, but how we feel and what we see along the path is inconceivable because you have to go through it yourself. You cannot just read it from the text, listen from the people's explanation to make you understand, and then you get it right away. No, it's not. It's not. The joy and the happiness of liberation, you can just feel. No, you can't. You had to feel it yourself. So other people can explain to you, but you can't feel it. You can't exactly understand it unless you feel it yourself. Okay, so that's what this is talking about. The Dharma you teach is inconceivable in that all the words you say, we understand, but only when we do it ourselves, only when we begin to observe with the intention, with the purest intention as the Buddha nature, with the purest intention of compassion, that would we understand. But if we just simply observe, we would not get it. We would not understand. We would not be able to see all the different capacities, right? You would just see everybody is cold, so you give everybody a blanket. That's very natural. But do you truly see the capacities and natures of different people's needs? Some people are naturally not afraid of cold. Some people are more susceptible to coldness than others. That's the different capacities and natures of different individuals. That's also inconceivable unless your observation is open to every different individuals. And the joy that you feel when you know that you specifically observed and you see the different needs of people and you provided different things for different needs, the joy that you feel, the solid footing that you feel standing on the very firm ground, that is your work. That joy is also inconceivable. So what this is saying is that the great magnificent Bodhisattva said that, Buddha, your answer, we understand, and we also understand that we have to walk this path to fully understand it, right? So there is no remaining doubts. We understand what you say. The only doubt, that the only gap in understanding is because we haven't done it. So we understand that, okay? So the Dharma, capacities, and liberations are all inconceivable. So this is profound. So the great magnificent Bodhisattva recognized that everything, this is profound, right? This is not in question. We know, we understand that there are many things that we have to go through to feel it. So I think the student is being very clear. I am not having questions about all these different things that's very inconceivable. That's not what I have the question have, right? So, however, because sentient beings' minds give rise to delusion, I therefore ask again. So, Bodhisattva, this great magnificent Bodhisattva, is very careful in asking the questions. I am not asking the questions because I didn't think about the answer that the Buddha said. A lot of times you ask your question because you weren't listening, because you did not pay attention. No, the great magnificent Bodhisattva is very clear in saying, I understand what the Buddha just said. We have to be observant. It has to come from within. And all these things, if you've gone through it, you understand. So I am not asking all the questions because I haven't practiced it. I understand that it's very inconceivable. But because there are many people who will be listening to this that are not quite there, I need to make sure that I ask these questions. Okay, so the great magnificent Buddha had to ask the questions on behalf of all sentient beings. Now we're gonna stop here. Okay, I spent a lot of time to, in the beginning to do the recap about the mind, about the body, about where it comes from, the intention, about meditation, about the differences, about what we think about mindfulness and the mindfulness training that's out there versus what Master Cheng is trying to guide us to do. I try to put a lot of perspective in that. But now we're heading to section 5. Section 5 is really talking about what is the great magnificent Bodhisattva trying to do? What is he trying to do? What is he trying to achieve by asking these questions? We have to understand that. If we understand that, if we see his intentions, then we understand why he's doing this. Okay? And is it something that you would do too? I think these are all very important. So we're going to pick that up next week from right here so that we could get into the ideas, the minds, the origin of the great magnificent Bodhisattva to figure out why, what question did he ask and why. All right. So we're going to finish. We're going to resume at this place next time. And we're going to pick up again for now that the Buddha is finished talking about his answer. Now we're going to see the student posing the next question that is a follow-up. And I think this is a very, very interesting part in this whole conversation. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Brother Joe, for your, this is very inspiring sharing, thought-provoking as well. One message that especially touched me is that mindfulness is not about using a technique or setting aside special time to practice. It begins with the heart, because the heart is easier to train it to be more loving, I suppose. This great loving heart to be more thinking of others rather than ourselves. So as we serve others, our mind should be where our body is, fully present, calm and aware. So Master remind us that not to detach ourselves from the world, but to stay engaged with people and events. By slowing down to truly see, listen and feel, we become more observant of the suffering around us. This mindfulness is driven by compassion so that we can understand people's needs better and serve them more effectively. Ultimately, mindfulness is not for ourselves. It is so that we can help others with greater wisdom, efficiency, and love. I guess this is a gist that I get together, which is something that I never thought of, this mindfulness, this mind stay with the body as we serve others outside, and not just following SOP. So Brother Joe, thank you so much for this sharing, this piece of message that I got through. Is there any question for Brother Joe? Brother Joe, do you need to leave early today?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, brother, if there's no question, maybe I can just ask a question. Thank you for reminding us that this mindfulness comes naturally through compassion rather than through techniques. Yeah. For many of us, our daily lives are very busy and often rushed. So in the midst of work, family, responsibility, what is one simple practice or reminder that can help us bring our mind back to where our body is so that we can remain present and serve others with a calm and compassionate heart?
Okay, so Sister Wai-Fong, I think that's a very difficult question because I'm not there yet either. Okay, so I think it's a very difficult question because I'm also finding my own pace also. But I want to get back to Sister Wai-Fong, your first part of your question. The first part of the question is, you talk about meditate. Well, you talk about that origin, right? That's what I talk about today also, and that observation or the mindfulness has to come from within. That's what I also said today. But I think it's not just mindfulness. It's not just mindfulness. It's diligence, right? So same thing again. The same idea is applicable to everywhere. Diligence, is it something that's other people telling that you should be diligent? Yes, when we're growing up, others always tell us to be diligent, right? Parents told us that you have to study hard, you have to do all these things so that you get a better school, you get better grades, you get good, you get in good school, you get a good education, so all the things can happen, right? So that's a push. Others are pushing you. What the Buddha is saying is that we all have to find that drive that's self sustaining. And what does that mean? It means that what if somebody isn't there to push you? Do you stop? Do you stop being diligent because others are not pushing you? That's the key, right? So, 无量易经, the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, I think it's trying to tap into yourself and letting yourself know that you are the drive. You can find that source. And there's always a source, but you need to know where to find it. You want to do something and you can push yourself to do it. But it's hard because, for example, you get into something like reading books, you get into something like diligence, you get into something like, for example, exercise, right? If you are just thinking about yourself, I want to be in shape, I want to be knowledgeable, I want to be wise, a lot of times this doesn't work. It won't work. And it will stop unless, I'm not saying it never works, unless you are already a very determined individual, in which case, many of us are not. So if you're already a very self-determined individual, then obviously you don't need this help. You're already very driven. You're individually very well-powered. Like Master Cheng Yen is somebody like that. So she could tell us, she could tell herself, will herself, that to do certain things that she didn't want to do. That's the way that she's carrying herself forward. But for most majority of us, we're not like that, right? So we need to. Sister Wifeng, you're gonna let me know when I can stop, right? Because I don't know if the next speaker is here. I'm not sure if how much time I can have, but so you should let me know, okay, when I need to stop. Okay.
5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. So all right. So what I'm trying to say is it's not just about mindfulness. It's about everything. And the Sutra of Infinite Meanings goes into the source. Why we would drive ourselves. What is this drive? What's this thing inside you, right? So for example, what drives you to eat? You're hungry. That's a bodily, biological need, self-sustaining need. As long as you're alive, unless there are things happening with your, the whole body health, unless you are alive, when you are alive, that's something that you're going to have the self-perpetuating. It's always going to be there. Breathing is something that you don't need to tell yourself to do because there is a need to do it, right? All those are bodily functions that we cannot do anything about, right? You can just stop breathing and then you pass out and then the body takes over. It's not you, it's your body. Now, Sutra of Infinite Meaning, the Buddha is explaining that mind is over the body. It's not just the bodily function. It's something that you could push yourself to, but you had to learn how to do this. Compassion is that. When you see other people in pain, right away, you see them. It's not in the news, as I said last week. If you see them in front of you, you see them cry. It's very natural for you to say, it's okay, tell me what's going on. That is something that comes from inside. That's what the Sutra of Infinite Meaning is trying to tap into, your internal drive, your inside, something that originates that drive. I think this is important. It's not just about mindfulness. Mindfulness is something that we can use, but the drive is the key. Okay, so it's not observation. That is the key to the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. The drive, the Sutra of Infinite Meanings key is, how do you drive yourself so that you can mindfully observe everything every time, even though you're doing this every day? You don't lose that that detail. You don't lose the will, the drive. What is it that keeps you going for all these years? Master Cheng Yun for 60 years, continuously doing this. What's that drive? What's the thing that drives her? You know, you could do this for 5 days straight. And then on the 6th day, you say, I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. It's too boring. I don't want to do this. Well, what is the drive that will keeps it going so that it becomes infinite? That's the key. It's not the observation. It's the drive. All right. So that's my take on what we understand and learn so far from the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Joe. So that mindfulness alone is not enough. That drive, the diligence, the inner drive to want to continue to learn and improve.
Right.
I think
Right. Otherwise, you just stop there, right? You finish taking the test and the drive is over, right? The test is there, so you study. And after it's over, it's done. But that's not the case, right? You want to have the drive so that you sort of push yourself to do this, right? So this is not diligence. I think it's deeper than that. It's something that pushes you to be diligent. Something that pushes you to be diligent. For example, why do we wake up early in the morning to do this? Is it because you're diligent? Yes, but there's more to it, I think. So I think that in a deeper human psyche, to me, so far, and I'm no psychologist, I'm no psychiatrist, I have no specialty in these areas. But to me, what works for me is that because there's a group of people that expects you to, and you do not want to let them down. That it's not group of people, it's you. You don't want to let them down. You want to make sure you're there for them. You want to be better so that you could make these people's time worth it. That's the drive. You want to do this. You want to be better. You want to continue to bring out new things for these people. They're going to be there waiting for you. And that's the drive. Now, you could argue that you could go deeper than that. I haven't been able to go deeper than that. But at least it's more than just, let's do it. Let's do this. Let's have an SOP, then make sure that it goes down the list. I think there's more things to that. So the Sutra of Infinite Meaning is tap into what's there to drive you infinitely. What can be the seed to the future's plant? So imagine a farmer is always, when there's a beginning, there is always an end. You put a seed down, that's going to grow, that's going to become a tree, and it's going to die one day. But the Sutra of Infinite Meaning talks about there isn't just one seed. This one seed will beget more seeds. And therefore, even though this tree will die, the forest will not die. And that's the key. You know, how do you perpetuate, self-sustain, so that it becomes long infinitely, that one test can be over, but the entire drive to pursue wisdom isn't finished. So what is the drive for you to keep on picking up a book to read, even though that's not what you want to do? What's the drive? What's the source of this infinitely sustainable thing that's inside you? And Buddha mentioned this compassion, this loving kindness. And I would argue that it's not that. It's the Buddha nature within that conjures this compassion. And it's naturally easier to just say it's compassion. But I think it's Buddha nature. You have to inspire that Buddha nature so that it oozes out compassion, and then you want to do more things. Okay, so I hope this is something, and I think that's why Buddha is not just a religious figure. You know, Buddha is definitely someone who is on the level of a very, very deep psychiatrist or psychologist, that he thinks about ways to motivate people. He thinks about ways to guide people. He thinks about ways to to inspire people. But when he's about to leave this world, he's worried about, what if there's no one there to push you? What if there's no one there to guide you? What should be the guide? What should be the force that push you? And so in this particular sutra, there's a different idea about, you don't need another person to push you. You yourself can push yourself, but you need to put yourself in the position so that you could feel those things, and then the inner self will be inspired, and then you will have the drive. So we all have the Buddha nature, but if we are not in the situation where we are needed, then that Buddha nature will not be inspired, and therefore it will just be dormant. So you will still need external things for you to drive you, right? And that's not enough. So in Tzu Chi, Master Cheng Yen encourages us to always feel, to always see all the sufferings. And when we are in close proximity to these suffering, we are going to be inspired. And that inspiration will push us to do more. I want to learn more about suffering. I want to learn more about Buddhism. I want to do more to see what I can do. I want to get training so I can get certificates. I want to do all these things. All those things were not there. It's not part of the guidebook to be successful. It's something that you want to do yourself. And when you want to do that yourself, nothing can stop you, because that's what you want and you're driving. You'll always find time for it. You'll always find the energy to do it. You'll always find the resources to do it. If you don't want to do it, if other people force you, you can always come up with 100 excuses of not doing it. And that's not going to make any difference. That's not going to help anybody, right? So the Buddha knew this. If you did not want to do it, not even Buddha can teach you to do it. But if you want to do it, not even the Buddha can stop you. And that's the key. I think that's the key in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Yeah.
Thank you so much, brother. I think at this moment, my understanding is so long that we continue to walk this path with this virtuous friends, we continue to encourage each other, and listening to the Dharma, contemplate and practice. Listen, contemplate, practice helps a lot. I much personally feel it. So as our compassion deepens, our diligence naturally arises. So we no longer practice because we have to, but because we genuinely wish to relieve suffering and benefit more people. Thank you so much, brother, for bringing this out, connecting this out, and before Brother Joe leaves us, shall we take a group photo? Shall we take a group photo? Please turn on your camera if you can, and give us your best smile. Sister YY, could you help to take the group photo? Yeah, and then
Okay, this is all. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Brother Joe, thank you so much. We'll see you again next week. And Brother G is here already. Yeah, Brother Siang, Brother Siang, right, from Penang, is here. Sorry, Brother Siang, for the delay. Do you need to leave early today? Will you have time for question at the end?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
I can. Yeah. No problem.
Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
So you will be sharing with us on this update on the Batu Kawan Tzu Chi campus, right?
Yes. First of all, is my sound good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Let me
Over
share
to
my
you.
let me share my PowerPoint first. And I'm trying to explore to share my PowerPoint first. Oh, okay. Let me know you guys can see my PowerPoint sharing.
Yes, brother.
Okay. Yeah. Another thing is actually, if let's say I am actually running some video from the PowerPoint, the sound itself, do I need to turn on any setting or something, or I can straight away run it? Because there are some video clips I need to run while I am sharing.
Brother, you may try and see whether it goes or not. If not,
Sure.
then we will have our people
All
to
right.
help with the technical side.
Okay.
And then
What are you guys seeing here? Is it the slide of the PPT? I just want to double check.
it's the slide and the notes, presenter notes at the
Oh,
side.
okay. Looks like never mind. Let me try to see. I think let me bring this to another place and share it.
Yes, this is the full,
Now it's full. Is it full now?
not now, earlier, now is, yes.
Now
Yes,
it's
it's
full.
full
Is
now.
it good to go right now?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
All right. Okay. All right. So, thanks. First of all, thanks a lot. I think Siu Jin, right? Sister Siu Jin. We met in Lumbini. I think in May. During the opening. So she actually talked to me to share something about this Batu Kawan Tzu Chi campus. Um, Maybe some of you already know. Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter. We are going to actually develop a campus in this area called Batu Kawan. I hope Batu Kawan is not something new, particularly to those coming from Malaysia lah. Oh, so what I'm going to share today is actually what is the so-called the roadmap of this Tzu Chi campus development from day one until today lah. What is the status of the campus development currently lah? Oh? How does it look like? Um, all right. So first of all, this is a map about Penang Island lah. And currently in Penang Island, in the town Georgetown area, right, we have this Penang Jingsi Hall lah, Jingsi Tang Buddhist Church Marriage Society Malaysia, where it located lah. And you can see the location of Tzu Chi campus, the new Tzu Chi campus in Batu Kawan, is actually on the mainland of Peninsula Malaysia lah. So you can see, of course, we know we have two bridge, Penang first bridge and second bridge. So you can see from the existing Penang Jingsi Hall in the Georgetown, we travel all the way and we go through the so-called Penang second bridge. Of course, we can go to this place through the Penang first bridge, but we prefer to take the route through the Penang second bridge, and total distance from existing Jingsi Hall to this Tzu Chi campus is around 40 kilometer lah, 40 kilometer. All right, so this is the Tzu Chi campus area, the Tzu Chi campus area in Batu Kawan lah. So you can see this is the outlook lah, and the sizes of this area is up to 60 acre lah, 60 acre, around 25 hectares. And then you can see beside this piece of land, you have this so-called river called Sungai Jawi lah, Sungai Jawi. And then you can see on this side is actually pretty much the Strait of Malacca lah, or Selat Malacca. All right. And next one is exactly you can see within this piece of land, and you can see this building here. So this building is pretty much where the so-called Tzu Chi campus looks like, where the Tzu Chi campus located lah. So later we're going to zoom in how is the so-called the architecture of the building looks like one by one. Okay, and in terms of where is this so-called Tzu Chi campus located, because for the past few years, right, Batu Kawan has been going through a very massive development, very massive development. We have a lot of industrial area already developed, and we have a so-called the commercial area, a lot of condo, a lot of landed, and so on. So eventually, this will be the how Tzu Chi campus looks like lah. And this is a so-called Sungai Jawi area, and you can see the neighborhood area, right? pretty much fully populated with different type of building lah, either residential area or commercial area lah. Oh, and okay, so this is a picture overview of the so-called the bird eye view lah, bird eye view. And of course, this is not the final version. In fact, this is the so-called the first version of this building architecture from top view, And of course, this is a piece of land whereby not yet developed one. Okay, so in terms of milestone, this whole Tzu Chi campus actually begin in 2017. 2017 at that moment, actually master asked us to actually look for a land, a piece of land for next phases of Tzu Chi development in Penang lah. Specifically and in Malaysia in general lah. So we have this so-called initial inquiry to master in 2017 and in 2018 we actually have this so-called PDC Penang Development Council memorandum signing with our CEO with our Chief Minister in Penang Chao Kuan Yu to buy the first piece of land. At that moment, the piece of land sizes is around 30 acre lah, 30 acre. And of course, we have this so-called site inspection on this piece of land. All right. And next one is actually in 2020, whereby we know we are having this so-called COVID lah. So at that moment, we actually have so-called some work lah, some groundbreak work on this piece of land. We are trying to actually flatten the land. And again, there's a master sharing on this piece of this particular project in Nali Zhuji, the summer version in 2023 lor. Maybe I just quickly go through what is the so-called key message from Master Chen Yan to us lah. The establishment of the development of Tzu Chi campus in Malaysia call for sincere commitment and vows of Malaysia Tzu Chi practitioner lor. And working in unity, harmony, mutual love, and cooperation, we shall together bring forth the value of life, enabling Buddhist humanistic culture and the spirit of Tzu Chi to be widely promoted and propagated across the whole Malaysia lah. So this is a master vision for us lah. Master vision for us. Okay, and there is another message from Master Chen Yan about the campus itself lah. Master said if we were to build a Jingsi Hall in this Batu Kawan area, and this building must possess true depth and substances, elevating the quality and spirit of traditional Buddhist hall lah. As for where the strength of this construction come from, it depends on whether the heart of Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers are sincere, reaching a shared consensus to embody the spirit of Dharma and the ideals of Tzu Chi locally lah. Once the correct direction is identified, unite our heart and effort to fully dedicated yourself to the task lah. And Master said he believe Malaysian Tzu Chi volunteers will earnestly give their all to gather sufficient support, and should their effort fall apart or fall short, the Taiwan headquarters will also provide support lah. So this is what Master share with us lah. Okay, and this point here, because the first stage of phase 1 30 acre is when Master know that this piece of land actually begin with 30 acres Master said it's too small so he want us to actually acquire more land and so in 2024 we actually kick off the discussion with the government again to acquire another piece of land. Actually, the total size of land Master one is actually around 90 acres 90 acres. So upon this so-called request from Master, right, we start to actually talk to the government. And because from 2017 until 2024 time frame, right, the cost of the land are already double up in Batu Kawan area. But because during the first inquiry, during the first acquisition of the first piece of land, the government said they can preserve the another 30 acres of land for Tzu Chi development for future development with the same price law. But when come to a 2024 time, right, the price of land already double up lah. So to acquire this extra piece of land, total with 30 acres plus another 30 acres, 60 acres, basically we need to buy with the so-called double price lah. So at that moment, our CEO from Malaysia chapter and Kedah chapter, right, fly to Hualien to meet master because we need to get a certification from master to tell the government said we are going to build this so-called Tzu Chi campus in Batu Kawan that benefit the whole community in Malaysia lah. Of course, particularly in for Penang area lah. So, but we need a confirmation. That's why we even get the so-called the signature form from this Yan Zixing to bring back this letter and give to our government. And with this piece of letter, finally we managed to acquire another piece of land, 30 acres lah, with the same price. With the same price as 2017 lah. So that total up 60 acres lah. Even though master want another 30 piece, total up 90 acre, but I think that extra 30 acre piece of land no longer available for us to acquire lah. So that means we live with 60 acres for this Tzu Chi campus development. No? Okay, and you can see this is the original piece of land, original piece 30 acre. And then what you can see here is actually the extra 30 piece total up 60 acres piece of land for the whole Tzu Chi campus development in Batu Kawan. No? Okay, and I think maybe some of you here before many years ago, Master do said if he were to actually travel outside of Taiwan, the first country he want to visit is actually Malaysia lah, Malaysia. So in 2024, right, when we meet Master, of course, with the age of Master know that in this current life, Master may not be able to make it anymore lah. But Master do actually mention he would like to actually come to this Batu Kawan campus and have a look in the next life lah. This is what Master told us lah. Okay, and following for basically a lot of information about what happened during this so-called these 3 years 24, 25, and 26 Of course, we have many trips from the Tzu Chi volunteer from China, from Canada, from of course from Taiwan, from of course from our Malaysia itself from different chapter of Tzu Chi chapter in Malaysia. Okay, so basically the following point basically is a picture on all these different site visit for different volunteers from different countries from different place throughout Malaysia Malaysia. I just glance it through before we come to the key sharing of this campus Okay, just glance it through. And of course, this picture, basically, we have this so-called the architecture, the architect from China who owned this so-called architecture design for Batu Kawan campus came for the site visit in 2024 Okay. All right. And okay, so this picture basically, in 22 January, we actually bring, I think this is 2025 last year. So we have this few volunteers actually bring the model of this Tzu Chi campus for master to bring it to master So you can see we present it to master Just quick check. Can you guys hear the sound from the PowerPoint sharing?
No, we can't hear the sound from the video, but the video is working.
Yeah. That's why I said I want to see how I can do that because in the past, in the old version, oh, I know already. Okay, I know. Let me try to play again. Now, Ken?
Yes, brother.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Clever.
Okay, so in 2025 last year, right? Last year, April 20, we are having this so-called launching, Tzu Chi campus launching ceremony officially lah. So we have total 2,000 volunteers travel all the way from different chapter in whole Malaysia and come to this Batu Kawan area lah. As you can see the picture itself, and then something to share lah. To us is Mandarin we call we view it as a Siang lah. Let's take a look. You see on that day, right? On that day you can see the sky. You have so many birds keep flying forth and back lah. I think this is something to us is something very significant lah. Oh, you can see the sky, you can so many birds that we never see. And at that moment we have this so-called Jing lah, Jing. Yeah. So you can see the sky there full with all these birds flying around lah. Okay, and of course on that day, right? On that day, we have this so-called we are requesting our Tzu Chi volunteers bring the bamboo with coins inside. So we have this ceremony. All the volunteers shake the bamboo, and we have this Tzu Chi at that moment come to chair the ceremony lah. So at that moment, we can pretty much hear just the bamboo sound, the metal bamboo sound. All the volunteers, I think total 2,000 volunteers, shake the bamboo sound. So at that moment, it's it's really grand, very grand.
实际园区，全力以赴，生生世世追随上人。我愿意，我愿意，我愿意。
And this picture is pretty much in 2025 we have this PIC lah, the 负责人 from different 和气 group go back to Taiwan go back to Taiwan to meet master and to attend some classes lah, organized by the Changzhou 师傅 lah, to get prepared for this Batu Kawan campus development. And of course, early mid of last year, we actually bring this model and to bring back to Taiwan to let master see how the model looks like. Okay, and we have this so-called Master Kaiser for us. This is how the Master Kaiser looks like. I'm grateful for Malaysia where the Tzu Chi has been established for over 30 years. And for our deep bond as teacher and disciple, giving of ourselves for Buddhism, all essential beings. And for the world is the best offering we can make to the Master Law. What we aim to build is a sacred pagoda to purify mind in society among ourselves. When someone take action, I feel joy, everyone feel joy, demonstrating what is right and true. With such a vast land and a wonderful environment, we should build according to our mission, our vision. Everyone must be joyful and sincere, rewarding the master as one would reward the Buddha. When the master is pleased, all Buddha and Bodhisattva are pleased as well. So this building must make everyone feel that the enlightened one, 宇宙大觉者, is expounding the Dharma for everyone of us. So this is what master want us to build this campus. This whole campus is like enlightened one trying to preach the Dharma to everyone. Okay. And okay, so you can see this campus you full with all this natural life. You can see this so-called very nice bird, very beautiful bird. And something very special also, you can see the natural habitat lah. One of it is actually we have this crocodile in this campus area. And you can see this picture is actually the crocodile in the river lor. Okay. Okay, next one. Next one, I'm going to run through this video. This video is the video provided by the architecture firms who own the design of this city campus to share with us how is the so-called the architecture drawing for this campus looks like lah. Let's enjoy it. Let's feel it. Let's feel. Let's see how great it is lah. All right, so basically this is a Tzu campus video overview lah. So in short or in summary, we call it as a in the initial version, the name master give to this building exactly we call it as a so-called 丛林的佛教堂啦，丛林的佛教堂。丛林 means the environment full with the so-called natural, either the trees, you know, the natural habitat, natural life lah, surrounding the campus itself, the building itself lah. So you can see the whole environment whole environment is like so-called a monastic in a forest lah. But this whole area is actually located in a so-called the busy city of this Batu Kawan. No? So this sizes itself, the 60-acre sizes itself, is just nice to create this so-called the environment for Tzu Chi practitioner to really practice this so-called 净思法脉 and Tzu Chi 宗门 Okay. All right. Next one. We'll hear what Master Chen Yuan 开示啦。What's Master Chen Yuan sermon to us about this Tzu Chi campus law with the English subtitle lah. English subtitle.
今天呐、我真的都是很感动。老实说，过去啦，我想了，我在台湾，建筑物是在马来西亚，就当地人呐、看了欢喜就好。大家呢那样的亲切，可以把它当成了是自己的家，那样的关心，那这在那里呢，就是一个慈济的家，是马来西亚慈济人的家。刚刚听到建筑师在介绍，还有呢，纪行也到了北京啊。为了这一件事也很用心哈。现在我已经感觉到说，应该是国际慈济的净思堂，因为呢，你们的爱心与诚意，应该就是了。这是法脉，净思法脉，慈济宗门。这个很大规模的建设在马来西亚，所以这个时候我突然间重视起来了。现在呢，感觉就是整个慈济啦，国际的这种的慈济宗门的建设，因为呢。他是在人群中，因为那地是新生地，现在才开始这个时阵才开始呢，是真好建设。这一块土地呢，认真看它，真的很漂亮。因为这一片弄没厝给咱砸掉啊，有一条河，很漂亮啊。那看到了这一块土地，又感到了建筑师也是很用心，你们也很诚意，所以这个主题的精神啊，你现在这个时阵，在我的心目中挖起来啊，对马来西亚会感觉到说，慧命啊，这一块就是慧命增长的家，在那个人群中的丛林，也是宁静中的真宁静的一个道场。所以这一块土地要做嘛，要好好做。你马来西亚对师父对这个精神理念。恁真诚意，咱这呢，这个道场是精神力量、慧命延续的道场，对咱爱真用心。所以师父感觉讲我有生之年也会想要看到，我们真期待讲甲恁有法度。沟通力量，沟通这个在生命、精神的生命，也叫做慧命，也参与在这样的工程里面。这个所在哪一旦好好建设起国际派的形象起来，应该会很好。 师父定人讲，要做一项代志，一定要核心。大家呢要和和气气，哦，那个意见，大家人爱相合起来。所以讲哦，合心和气，谈到工堂，咱大家人拢真欢喜。吼，这款呢啊，充满希望，这就是吼咱的慧命。所以讲，咱若会当安尼啦，这个所在绝对会当做一个真在世界吼可以提起啊，慈济净思堂马来西亚的建筑物是怎么做？
把相识之情，点滴融进此际。
Okay, this is about the latest, I think mid of May timeframe this year lah. It's about master sharing to all of us lah about this Tzu campus lah. In the beginning, master is more on if you guys are happy with that, he feel happy as well. But come to midway, master feel that he would like to get involved as well lah. He would like to get involved as well, and the final wish master has exactly hope. He wish he can see the emergence of this campus as well lah. So that's why currently we all have one goal lah. The goal of us is actually we try all our best to bring up this Tzu Chi campus for master to be able to see it in this current life law. Okay. Okay, let me try. Just a moment now. I have some foil that I need to share before I end my sharing lah. Okay, so more architecture drawing lah. You can see this is how the whole Tzu Chi campus looks like lor. Of course, this is a main building lah, main building, and then we have this so-called square lah, 菩提广场 lah, the Bodhi square lor, Bodhi square. The big area that we are seeing, and then the audience or the people will enter through this entries lah. We have two entries in. Okay, just take a look on some of the picture here. And you can see you can see we have this so-called 大爱广场 lor, the Great Love Square. You have this the World Globe lah. And then this the map itself if let's say we have disaster happen in one specific countries automatically that country will be lightened up lah, to tell all the Tzu Chi volunteers we are having disaster in this particular countries lah. So this is a so-called the architecture we are building towards lah. Okay. And this so-called this 大爱广场 this 大爱广场 is meant to host close to 10,000 people, 10,000 people. And then you can see the middle here, you have this so-called pool here lah. And this pool you can become like this when needed lah, to host the big event like a Yu4 or any open door event. Okay, I think that's all the information I would like to share with the team here lah. Or now I'm open for a few questions if you guys have. If not, then I think I'm done with this simple overview of Tzu Chi campus in Batu Kawan. Of course, you guys are welcome to pay a visit to this piece of land. So every day or every week, we have this so-called tour from different country, from different places in Malaysia lah, to organize trip to visit this Tzu Chi campus lah. Okay, I think that's all lah. That's all I have to share with you guys lah.
And so much, Brother Siang, for your
Yeah.
meaningful sharing. Again, I would like to apologize for the slight delay earlier, yeah, because Brother Joe's sharing was very inspiring just now.
Yeah,
So, is there any question from the floor now?
Brother, can you hear me?
We can hear you, sister.
Yeah, I would like to ask, when we use the term campus, does it mean that it is an educational center or it's just a 精神堂
yeah.
center?
Actually, the whole purpose of this campus is for the so-called 社会教育啦，社会进化咯。It cannot running away from education lah. So this like what you mentioned, the main purpose of this campus like what master give us exactly for our social education 社会教育啦 and aligned to our master three vision 净化人心社会祥和天下无灾无难So to achieve this mission for sure we cannot running away from this education education. Yeah, I think you can treat it as a so-called education hub, social education hub.
Yeah, brother. I also have a question.
Mm.
The name of this is Chongling, the 佛教堂. Does it mean that they will be Sifu coming and staying there?
No. Actually, the latest direction master give us is actually for 在家居士啦。在家居士 means how do I say the 在家居士 in English 在家居士 means
lay practitioners.
yeah, lay practitioner. But it's a 道场啦。道场 means it's a places whereby really practice the Buddhism here lah. Really practitioner is an area of for practitioner like what you mentioned, lay practitioner lah. It's a 道场 but it's for 居士道场。居士道场。
感恩。
Brother Jijian,
Yeah.
I may have missed your share this info. Maybe you have mentioned when is the expected date that this will be completed? Yeah.
Currently the current stages are the architecture drawing pretty much finalized already lah. We already submit this information to our government So we are waiting for final approval from the government Once the approval coming back from the government then we can really start to kick off the so-called the actual work already and we are targeted to kick off by the end of this year if everything went on smoothly like what I mentioned the goal we have is actually we would like to have this so-called building to be ready. Maybe not all of them. The main one, the main campus, the main building of the campus, the 主堂 we are targeted to be ready so that Master Chen Yuan have the opportunity to see this building by himself That is our goal Our goal in terms of this overall Tzu Chi campus development. The full development may take many years but we are targeted the first phases of this building to be ready maybe within this 2 to 3 years lah. That is our goal lah. That's our goal, so that master can witness.
Brother, if you don't mind, may I ask what is the total cost of this project?
It's going to be a multi-billion.
Multi-billion.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Brother, the official name of this campus is going to be called what? 慈济 Malaysia 佛教堂 or something, or what is the full official name?
Full official name is not fully finalized yet. It's not fully. Of course, there are some discussion, some proposal as well lah. Like for example, just now you also see 慈济国际金石堂 is one of it lor. And the latest one this Yao Renlu Yao Renlu maybe most of you guys know who is Yao Renlu lah, the Yao Papa.
Yes.
The 大爱台总监大爱台总监, he actually paid a visit to us March this year lah. Actually Master Chen Yan officially appointed him as the so-called advisor for this whole project lor. So basically the whole development is overseen by Yao Renlu lah currently lah. So we have anything about, because he's so expert in terms of all this architecture of building lah. So Master Chen Yan actually officially appointed him to be the advisor for this whole campus lah.
Okay.
Sorry, just now you asked what question I suddenly.
Yeah, what is the official name? What is the official name this whole building is going to be called? I because at one time I heard it's going to be called Malaysia 慈济佛教堂, or something along that line, I was just wondering what is the
I think there's
official
a initial name Master mentioned about this building lah, but after going through many discussion, and the latest we have but not fully finalized yet. We call it as a 慈济国际人文教育人文中心 or something like that lah. But that official name, like what you mentioned, we are still going through the finalizing process lah.
Okay.
Not fully
No
finalized
problem.
yet, but going through few version lah.
Okay, 好的，感恩。
Yep.
Brother.
Sorry. Go ahead, sister.
Stephanie, go ahead.
No, there's one thing that came up in my mind just now. There were a lot of swamp areas that and then this place is a habitat for a lot of wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to understand maybe the committee, how are we going to take care of the wildlife as we build this massive project?
Yeah, of course. The architect itself somehow is very aligned to Tzu Chi as well lah. He is very environmental friendly, so he also love nature one. So that's why the architecture concept he has is very eco friendly. With the compassion to minimize I wouldn't say can zeroize, minimize the impact to the natural habitat lah. Minimize. So that's why the building itself is not built from ground one. So basically we are going to have this so-called I can't recall how
The
many
audio is
meter.
cut off. Oh.
You have the peel itself, 柱子. All these 柱子 that means the whole building is actually built on this 柱子上面 and also this building is actually also built with the mindset in future, if let's say we have this so-called big so-called disaster like the flood big flood at least it can, I think for 100 years 100 years consideration, let's say you have so-called this global warming whereby your sea level increase then this building built with this this thing bear in mind already meaning that even though the sea rise above certain level it's still, I mean this whole building is still can absorb this sea rise That's why upfront this building actually is built with elevated height and then not from ground, but exactly you have all this pole core to hold the building itself lah. So by using this concept we'll try to minimize the impact to the natural habitat. You can see all this so-called the view itself, all this so-called the swamp area, the pool area, the greenery. We'll try to maintain as much as possible. So that this building you will see is surrounded with all this natural habitat. Like what Master mentioned, 丛林佛教堂啦，丛林佛教堂 means it's in the forest.
It emerged from the it
Yeah, in the
emerges
forest.
from the
Emerges
from the
from the
nature.
nature. Yeah. So the building itself come with the mindset we'll try to preserve as much as possible. That's why this architecture drawing built such a way lah.
Oh, I see. So the
Minimum
original site, sorry. So the original site, the land itself is a swamp area lah. It's a swampland.
Of course, you have this Jawi, Sungai Jawi lah, the Sungai Jawi, the Jawi River there lah. But this area, because
There
we
are
are
also like
doing
landed areas lah, not just the swamp area.
no, yeah, of course, a mixture with a mixture between swamp and land area lor. Yeah. But the land itself, you can see from the picture itself, is really very beautiful one. Very beautiful with the river, with all this natural life, is here and there one. You even can see crocodile there one.
Yeah. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Very inspiring and very heartfelt.
Yeah. So everyone are welcome to pay a visit to these places lah. Of course, if let's say you guys organize a trip, then of course we officially will plan accordingly lah. To do of not only the campus visit as well. Of course, we'll bring the trip to visit our existing missionary work lah, like 洗肾中心 the dialysis center, the education center, the community center. Like for example, in Penang, we have this area called Padang Tembak. Padang Tembak. I'm not sure you guys hear it or not. It's a so-called very poor, the poorest area in Penang lah. The so-called the first flat built in Penang. It's
Rifle
very
range, okay? Rifle range.
rifle range, Padang Tembak lah. So these places we actually adopt it we develop this so-called community and now it's really changed a lot lah after many years of Tzu interception in this community area.
Okay, we look
So all
forward.
all this we'll bring. Let's say we have tour, then we'll bring to visit all these different places. How Tzu intercept to upbring the whole community, whole places of course cannot run away from the recycle center lah. What the recycle center doing is very innovative one. A lot of things take place there. Like for example, one of it is actually book adoption center. Book adoption center is actually originated or initiated by one of the recycle center in Penang lah. And every year, every month, we adopt so many books, so many uncountable books lah. Yeah. So all these different signature in Tzu will actually bring whoever come by the trip to visit to have a different exposure, to have a idea what is happening lah. Of course, cannot run away from this campus. The main one will be still this Tzu campus because now whatever we are doing are all targeted towards this Tzu campus law.
May I just add, brother, looking at this beautiful photo and recalling back just now, you show us the photos of the flock of birds. I think even the nature are offering auspicious blessing, to this project, So it's a beautiful harmony. It's a beautiful harmony with nature and also wondrous affinities unfolding, Yeah, this is truly majestic. This is a very beautiful, very, very beautiful, unusual building.
Yeah, that's why last year for the official launching ceremony, so we have this Jingsing. Jingsing, I think you guys know what is Jingsing, right? You walk while you actually chant. So along the way, suddenly we see the sky, all the bird non-stop,
Mm.
flying,
Mm.
so many,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The birds,
it's
the birds are
amazing.
flying from everywhere lah,
It's really
to offer
amazing the number
blessing.
of birds flying around. So
Mm.
many,
Yes.
That scene is really we never seen that before lah. We never seen that before. It's like the the life is also like what you mentioned,
Yeah.
cherish
Offering
the
blessing. Yeah,
yeah
auspicious blessing.
cherish the blessing
Mm.
this
Mm.
place as well lah.
Yeah. Of the Kanan brother. Kanan so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. So we hope you guys have the chance to visit these places as well lah. Because like what Master Chen Yan mentioned, this campus is for the whole Malaysia in particular lah. And in fact, exactly for whole Southeast Asia lah. Southeast Asia, this is what Master uh, for us lah. I mean the direction for us lah to build this so-called campus not only for so-called Malaysia chapter, it's for the whole Malaysia, and not only for Malaysia, but it's also for whole uh, Southeast Asia. In fact, currently, because China, maybe you guys are aware lah, because recent years, the government of China posed a lot of constraint to the Tzu Chi grow in China lah, mainland China. So it's not easy for them to do Tzu Chi activity in China lah. That's why quite a number of China volunteers nowadays they come to Malaysia to carry out their Tzu Chi mission. So that's why we have many trips from the China, different places of China come to visit this campus lor. Okay lah, I think that's all I have lor. That's all the information I have to share with you guys lah.
Thanks so much, brother. Brother, is there a school in the building as well? School
Is there a
like
school?
Tzu Chi school, Tzu Chi Yueyan or as
I
well as
think Yuan and Anxingban we have lah. The rest we try to maintain outside of this campus. It's just like in Taiwan, Hualien like Jingsi is really a places for this so-called 进士法脉 cultivation 实际中文will be in the neighborhood lor. It will be in different like in Georgetown area or in BM Bukit Mentajam area or in Batu area. So basically the Dharma lineage the 进士法脉 will take place in this 慈济 campus here lor. And then for the activity based like 中文activity will reside or in different place in different place surrounding lor. So these places we don't plan to build like a hospital or whatever international school no. These places is purely for Buddhism practice. Just like 净寺 you don't have a 慈济 hospital in 净寺 right? You don't have a school in this hospital in this area. So this purely for the Buddhist practitioner. Of course, from us, from 慈济 standpoint, we call it as a 净师法脉的一个修行，净师法脉的一个修行啦。It's really Buddhism centric because we know that the master vision 为佛教为众生嘛，为众生for the past many years pretty much the whole 慈济 do a lot of 为众生 already 啦。For the upcoming era, I think Master starts to switch the focus. In fact, Master may not be able to accomplish this 为佛教 mission. So in fact, he actually talked to us also. 为佛教 he have to actually leverage on us already to implement, to really to put into place in terms of the actual 为佛教 mission. So this Tzu Chi campus this area is very focused on 为佛教 and 为众生 will be in the neighborhood area in the mainland island, in different region of mainland island, we'll have this 为众生 chapter So this is how the Tzu Chi campus will build based on.
And brother, for such a large and meaningful project, how can we encourage more people to understand the vision of this campus and to participate in supporting this? perhaps the financial contributions are the times
Financial contribution, of course, we welcome everyone. If let's say, because we know that in Buddhism, in Buddhist Sutra, right, the merit associated with the so-called the temple construction is very huge one. We know that one. So of course, we welcome all the donation, either from Tzu Chi family themselves or even from outsider. That's why we have this so-called trip by trip, even from China, right? When they come here, even from US, they come here to visit. They are really inspired. So after they finish their trip, they will donate the Long Tong, one by one Long Tong. So this is how we so-called accumulate enough fund to build this so-called campaign, and of course from the so-called the volunteer themselves some they find all means to contribute through every month installment based Long Tong donation. We also have this so-called this way of contribute to this campus all sort of means So currently it's actively ongoing and not only that this whole campus we need a lot of people, like Master mentioned to us. Quality we already have for sure. We have the spirit wise also there already, but the quantity not enough quantity of people not enough yet. So that's why currently we have this so-called our next focus is to really grow the number of Tzu Chi volunteers we will find ways to grow them in a number that very different from what we have in the past And of course, you have let's say just in case you know someone want to donate, you can of course get in touch with one of the Tzu Chi volunteers. We'll let you know how to do that you are welcome to do that. All the all the contribution are welcome welcome. Collectively, we build like what Master Chen mentioned. This is not just for Penang It's for whole Malaysia, not just for whole Malaysia. It's for this whole Southeast Asia. Not only for Southeast Asia. In fact, with the political tension that we have between USA and China, right? Somehow Malaysia become a very strategic place. And coupled with the so-called the religion practice freedom that we have in Malaysia. So it's quite strategy. It's just quite strategy we call it as a 因缘具足for it to happen in Malaysia. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Again, we have really an interesting sharing from Brother Wei Siang. And can earn so much for spending your time and answering questions from all of us, the participants who are actively participating.
Hope you guys have an opportunity to visit these places You can always organize trip. Just let Tzu Chi Penang here know. They will arrange volunteers to actually drive the trip company Quan Pei and so on.
Okay, sure. We wish you and the Penang team every success in this meaningful project. As this meaningful project continues to grow, can earn so much, brother.
Thank you so much.
We have now come to the end of today's heartwarming talk. Our heartfelt gratitude to Brother Joe and Brother Wei Siang again for sharing your time, experiences, and wisdom with us this morning. And thank you everyone for joining us. We hope today's sharing has brought you inspiration and joy. And may you have a wonderful Saturday and a peaceful week ahead. Before we end, let us join our palms together in gratitude. Please rise for 3 bows to the triple gem. Okay, the first bow to Buddha, the Dharma, the third bow to the Sangha, the bow to our abode masters. And so much. And thank you, everyone. See you at our next heartwarming talk again. And have a wonderful day today. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
感恩四位佛。
brothers and sisters. 感恩 all the sharers.
very interesting.